Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and today is our top tools for more listings class. So we're going to cover the ways that you can use Listings to Leads to get listings. But before we dive into that, I do want to give you a high-level story of what we do. We're a real estate advertising platform. We help agents get more listings. We help agents market listings. So if you have listings, we have a lot of tools that are auto-generated. We can auto-post to your social media. So we really have powerful marketing with lead capture for your listings. We also have a lot of content that's just automatically posted to your social media accounts, helping you grow your networks, develop your audiences, and build your brand. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And then there are landing pages and PDF guides and all kinds of things that we're going to look at to help you get buyers or sellers. But today's call is about listings or how to get more listings. One place that I definitely recommend everybody starts with is leadgenwebinars.com. If you want to listen to live classes like this one, all of our classes are here. I rotate through top tools for more listings, Facebook and Google, get started, and listings to leads for lenders. Scott's also doing something. He does classes, I think almost every day now, but he has one tomorrow for social media and farm market. It's a daily class, so almost like a coaching class of telling you what you need to do. You can sign up for that as well. Every class that we do, including this one, is recorded, and it's right here on this page here, which is our Listings to Leads channel on YouTube. On the homepage, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's testimonials and stuff, but the classes that I do here are, they're right here, right? And you can see some are hosted by me and Scott, and some are hosted by Scott and me. Maybe that will help, right? And I'll leave that up for a little bit. And another great resource is our Mastermind group. It's in Facebook. I want to point something out to you right here. And I actually downloaded it. If you're in the Mastermind group, you can download this yourself. It's called an expired PDF, and it's an expired listing presentation. And I downloaded it, and I'm looking at it here. And this is something, as we get into the discussion of how to get listings, some listings you can get from just using marketing to people who have expired homes. And this here has an introduction to the kind of marketing that we do. This isn't really talking about listing suites. It is talking about what we do. And half of it is all done for you automatically. But for you to be able to present something or email something to somebody who was trying to sell their home and wasn't successful at it, this tool was sitting there waiting for you. Okay. It's in the Mastermind group, and just ask the support team how to get in. The Mastermind group, the banner looks like this up here, but if you're not in it, you won't be able to find it. It's a private group. And so it's just kind of, Facebook hides it, right? So go into your account and ask the support team to get you in. And there's all kinds of tools here. A lot of these tools we're going to be talking about today, but they're just embedded in this presentation for people who have been trying to sell their home and weren't able to. So let's get to this piece. And I know people are logging in, so I want to remind everybody, there is a handout section inside of this GoToMeeting chat panel. Please go there and download the 2 documents. I'm going to go over definitely this one, which is top tools for more listings. And there's another one called Facebook and Google ads. And Facebook and Google, definitely, we're going to be talking about that. There are lots of ways to get seller leads with that, but I break it out here. This outline will help you understand what's going on regarding those 2 platforms. But let's look at this flyer here. And again, please download this. It's in the handout section. And I'm just going to read through it so that we understand what we need to be thinking about. One is mail out the nearby homeowner letter. And I'm going to show you where that is. We auto-generate this letter anytime you put a listing in, even if you borrow a listing. So if you want to develop a farm market, but you don't have listings there and you borrow one from somebody in your office, we would generate this letter. And if you mailed it to neighbors with equity, you would get high quality listing leads. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. You can run ads on Facebook under contract and sold listings. It's funny, agents know that they need to market sold listings. I see hundreds of agents sharing really colorful, cool looking pictures of the homes they sold. There's just no call to action. So really what you're doing is you're asking people just to reach out and talk to you. And that's not really what listings to leads is trying to do. We're trying to gather contact information. And you'll see when I show you what our ads look like, why they do get contact information. Now, you also want to create a home valuation page, property valuation page for each farm area. And then once you've done that, you can run ads on Facebook and Google with that. You can also have a letter so you can mail out. This mail down here, number 7, it says mail home sold report. This is a marketing piece that's connected to every home valuation page that you create. So you can, in a way, you can think of it as you can run ads, you can use a print flyer. There's also e-flyers. So there will be e-flyers on the back of those landing pages, and those will capture leads as well. So I'm sure you've seen e-flyers, you might even have your own. Most of what realtors have for marketing has your branding involved and your phone number and your headshot. But people are not really too interested in calling realtors all the time. And so our tools offer information, answers to lots of questions. And as long as you give up your contact information, and then when they do, we give that to you. There's also a whole section of market seller PDF guides. We'll go look at that. There's lots of ways to get those into the market. And one thing I want to talk about is down here, which is advanced, and it's getting a custom audience for Facebook for better targeting. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that first, because I think this is really an important piece of what's coming on, what's going on in this market. And what's going on in this market is a lot of people are focused, a lot of realtors, on getting more listings. And you need to be able to market to get listings. So there are companies like this one here, Arch Agent, redx.com, remind.com, Cole Resource, and ListSource. And they will sell you what I think is very important and what you really need to be really an effective marketer in real estate for listings. And that is a list of homeowners with equity. And that, I think if you have a list of homeowners that have owned a home for more than 5 years, you can get their name, their phone number, their email, and their address. You want all of that. Okay. And you want to find out whatever company is going to sell that to you. I've things about Arch Agent. I know Cole Resource is good. I know it's expensive, but people have told me they've been able to get it from RedX and other places. Hold that thought. I'm going to tell you why that's the case, why you want that. I'll tell you right now. You want to mail to people with equity, the tools that I'm going to show you. You want to email those same people with equity, the tools that I show you. And you want to upload that list into Facebook and target them with ads that are relevant to homeowners. That's a simple way of doing it, right? All the tools I'm going to show you capture leads. So let's get into it and talk about what it is that we want to do to get more listings. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the panel there. One more thing about those lists. I know there are some really cool companies that will sell you, what do you call it? Like more targeted lists. And that might be useful. But I think everybody on this call knows that the average length of home ownership in the United States right now is about 7 years. So if that's the average, that means that people are selling much sooner, right? Like in 4. So I think if you just get a list of people that own their homes for more than 5 years, you got a pretty good target, right? So when you log in, if you've logged in the first time, there's a wizard that's going to ask you for your logo and connect your social media accounts and connect your ad accounts for Facebook and Google. Go through all that. Then every time you log in, there is going to be, you're going to drop on this dashboard. And since today's call is about how to get listing leads, you want to click that button there that says how to get listings, generate seller leads, right? When I read that flyer of the top tools for more listings, all of those tools are on this page. Okay. And at the top, we can create ads for Facebook, for Google. We can create ads. Remember on here, it says run later stage listing ads. run ads on Facebook and Google for home valuations. Yeah, you can do all that from this page. Okay. Also, you might want to do some print marketing. You definitely want to do some print marketing on sold homes, whether it's sold postcards or their no nearby homeowner letter. You absolutely want to get one or both of those out. Obviously, there's print costs, so you want to budget that properly. Now, we do have these new things here, which are ways to email blast your leads that you're capturing with us. But honestly, right now, yeah, this is time for sellers. Maybe I don't think anything's really too relevant to home sellers right now. But the landing pages, we do have like free home values, right? And you can create your own seller landing pages. I'll show you how to do that. You definitely want to create seller landing pages for all your farm market. And then PDF guides. Now we have 80 PDF guides. If we go over here to the left, we can look at them, but 40 are for home buyers and the other 40 are for home sellers. So you can just click marketing tools. So all of that really points to this page here. So if you haven't downloaded this page here called Top Tools and More Listings, go to the handout section of GoToMeeting chat panel and download this and print this and put it on your desk. So you're going to know these are the things I got to do if I want more listings. Let's do them. So I'm going to just start at the top. This is not the order of how things are up on that chart there on that sheet, but just here, I'm going to say, hey, if you want more listings, market a home when it's pending or market a home when it's sold, right? Either way, the language is almost exact. Leave it on lead ad so you get leads with name, email, and phone number and click create ad. The lead ads is default and you want to just do that. Let's see here. I see a question. Is there a place I can download the handouts later? No, you can email me later at vince@listingstoleads.com. My email is on the website and just say, hey, could I have the handouts? And I'll email it to you. I have this on my computer. So when you have a sold property and you click create a listing ad, it's pre-written. And this is the message. Just hey, that home is sold. That affects your home value. Click here for a home value. That's it. Okay. Nice and easy. This works right now. This works in all across the country. And we're gonna, if your home is in whatever city, which we can tell from the MLS, we're going to target that same city. There is a 15-mile radius. And so this makes, maybe this could be overspraying your ad, but this still works just like this. Okay. Very simple, $50 ad, 7 days, boom, publish, you're done. This is the easiest, simplest way to get seller leads with name, email, and phone number. There are other tools, which we're going to look at, that generate higher quality leads. They're actually more difficult to get, but this is an easy way. And we actually have clients that are closing business. We had a client I talk about fairly frequently, Brian Matheson in the Mastermind group. And he said, hey, I ran a $50 ad. I've got a $400,000 listing and they need to buy another home for $450,000. So he's got $850 in volume from one $50 ad. So many agents know they need to market sold listings and so many don't bother to do it. We make it incredibly easy. Just get over here to the dashboard, click on generate seller leads and create an ad for anything that's sold or pending. Now I'm going to create one for a landing page for not the generic one. I'm going to create one for a town here. I've got one here for Memphis. And you can decide that you want lead ads or you want traffic ad. And I'm going to do lead ads right now because that means if somebody clicks on it, you're going to get their name, email, and phone number. Okay. And it's also going to say, when do you want to sell? What you don't get on this ad though is the address. If I click on traffic, it's going to drive people to the page itself. And I'll show you what the page looks like in a second, but you're going to get the address, but you're almost 100% not likely going to get the phone number. You might get the email address. A lot of people don't even like to give up an email address. And I think that if you're trying to convert leads, if you had a name, phone number, and email, you're more likely going to be able to convert that than if you just had an address or an address and an email. And I say this because you should really be texting your leads now. Text them with Simple questions back and forth until they're ready to have a phone call with you. But I'm going to do it on lead ads because I know I could do a lot better with naming on phone number. I'm going to click create ad. The first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, I see you wanted your home value. You saw my ad. Can I get your address? Let me get those numbers for you. And then boom, you could drop it right into the landing page. So here, this page is for Memphis. So guess what? You should type in Memphis and click publish. These leads cost $12 to $15 each. If you have a $50 ad, divide 15 into 50, expect about 3 leads, right? If they're charging you 12, you're going to get more. And that's a 7-day budget. You can max spend $50, right? So this is something that people like to do. I think there's something here that we have to talk about right up front. And I'm going to do another ad to show you why this could be a problem. And I'm going to do a town next to me called Orinda. I'm going to leave it on lead ad. I'm going to type in the zip code so that we'll pull up some sales data. I see some questions, so let me go look at those questions while that's baking. Okay, I'm in. This time I'm running an ad not in Memphis, but in a small town called Orinda. And this is really important for those of you that live in dense areas where there's town next to a town next to a town. Okay. And here's why. Notice it pulled up some sales data. 18 homes sold. The high was here. Affect your home value. Get your home value. Boom. What should I do? I should type in Orinda so it matches that message over there on the right. And click publish. And you would think that's the way to do it. And that is the way to do it. But that can also waste a lot of your money and time. Here's why. Remember when I told you to get this list? I'm going to show you how you can upload this list, and you know that you can buy it with people with equity. And that would tell us, hey, instead of doing a 15-mile radius, let's take this out here and let's type in the name of my custom audience. I don't have one for that particular, but you see how I have this custom audience in blue. This tells Facebook, run this ad in front of these people if they're on Facebook in the next 7 days. That's how that works. That's how you can target people with equity. Now, why am I saying to do that? You may not know Concord, California. Oh wait, I'm not talking about Concord. Sorry, I'm talking about Orinda. Orinda, California. It's very close to me. Right. And there's only 22,000 people, I think, that live there. And so it's a small town surrounded by a lot of other towns. Right. So this little area where my mouse is in white, that's Orinda. And pretty little place. This area right about here is about a 15-mile radius of Orinda. So if I use the default settings from Facebook and I'm targeting these 22,000 people that live there, that own a home there, you may not know much about this area. There's over 1 million people that will see this ad that don't live in Orinda. And that's why that ad maybe won't be so effective for me. So I don't know where you live. You might live in Elko, Nevada, where there's not another town for 30 minutes, right? Then this ad would be totally fine. Without a custom audience, you won't know if they own a house, right? There's just can be people that work there or things like that. So this, with having a custom audience, can really help you target those people. To create a custom audience, you got to go over here to the ad section, and I'll click on it now and we'll go over there. I'll have the sip tea while we're waiting. There's a blue button that says create audience. You call it whatever you want to call it, right? Tampa Homeowners, whatever. And it's got to look just like this, like that header, email, number, first name, last name, just like that. And those 4 columns. Upload it, import it. It will live in your account, in your Facebook account. It won't live in listings to leads. So even if you stop working with us, if you're going to be in real estate for any number of years and listings are going to be important, you should absolutely be doing this, because you'll be able to use this even without working with us, right? However, since you're still working with us right now, if you have that in there, and you come over to the dashboard and you say generate seller leads. Now, when you create a landing page, you can target these people with equity because you uploaded it yourself, right? There's another section here that you can do, and that's creating PDF guide ads. I mentioned earlier, there are 40 for home buyers and 40 for home sellers. But when we're on the seller leads tab, we're only going to see the seller landing page. They're all branded to you. You're actually branded on every page. Your colors from your company and your logo, they're all flowing on every page. So here's one that's always relevant: 5 dangers of overpricing, right? Definitely want it on lead ads. This one doesn't require a custom audience because it's not talking about a neighborhood or it's not talking about a city. It's just saying, hey, don't overprice your home, right? So you could do that anywhere. Now, if you're really focused on, let's say, Orinda or whatever town you are focused on, you could target those people over and over. You could do that if you want, but it's not really necessary. So even if I typed in Orinda, I might get leads from around, which is fine. And I would work in those other cities, in those other towns as well. They're 5 or 10 minutes away. It's not a big deal. You just click publish and you're good to go. Okay. So that's what you can do with Facebook. And I can tell you, I don't know if you've had any success with Facebook. I just talked to an agent this morning. He called me, said, hey, I ran an ad. I got 9 leads and I've been calling them and nobody's responding. Please text your leads, guys. I don't know if you don't know this, but people respond to text far more than they respond to a phone call, right? If they don't know you, that 50% of the people, probably 75, won't even answer the phone. And for the few people who do, if they don't know you, they're going to get off the phone as soon as they can. They're going to say, I don't know what you're talking about, right? I'm sure you guys have gone through this. If you email them, and you might have your campaign turned on, do you know how many emails everybody's getting every day? At least 100 a day, if not 200. So is your email really going to be that effective? Probably the answer is no, it's not. Texting people respond to. Don't write a big paragraph. Just ask simple questions so that they can answer very easily until they're ready to pick up the phone and talk to you. So that's Facebook ads. Let's talk about Google. If you are looking for listings, and Google is an add-on to our system, okay? And that means that it costs $30 a month just to use the software, right? And the reason that you want to do that is, 1, you should be running ads on Google. 2, it is a nightmare if you do it inside of Google. It's one of the ugliest interfaces I have ever seen, which is crazy because it's the #1 website in the country. But I run ads on it and my Lord, it's a mess. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. We actually have Google software built in right here. So if somebody writes an ad and says, hey, what is my home worth? Or how do I sell my home? Or any other keywords, this ad will show up on their computer. Okay. And if they click on it, we're going to push them to a link, right? Let's click here. And the link is, in this case, a home valuation landing page that I created a while ago. You should have a home valuation landing page for any of your key markets. I'll show you where you create that a little bit later. But all you have to do is choose the page that you want, type in the corresponding city, and click publish. I do want to point out that we put a $50 a day budget, $50 a day. When I showed you the budget on Facebook, that was $50 a week. Why would we do that? Leads are way more expensive on Google. It is the #1 website in the country. And when people have questions, they come to this website 86% of the time. So you do have to think about your budget. And if you're new to the industry, I don't really recommend jumping into Google right away. I recommend really getting good with our Facebook ad software and our print tools and our e-flyers. And then definitely do not ignore Google. It's the #1 website in the country. 86% of all questions on the internet are asked right here. Any business needs to be looking at this, right? And you're a real estate business, so you definitely need to have a strategy that involves Google. So where were we over here? So that's why you got to use Google. Let me click on advanced options, which you hopefully will never do. These are all the keywords that we're putting in. Okay. We're doing this automatically based on what tool you're clicking on. We know what you're after. You have to write multiple headlines in Google and they rotate these. So these are the headlines up here. Every time they show the ad, they rotate it. And so they're triangulating on what's the best, most effective ad. And then you got to write multiple descriptions here and that goes there. And that's what Google is about. You don't actually need click advanced options. We do everything for you automatically. We're just trying to make it easy for you. But that's Google. And definitely it's something, if you're going to be in this business, you already know about it if you've been in it for a while, but maybe you don't know how to do it. We make it super easy. Now, if you've got listings, let's click back on seller leads so that we are just focused on the tools that are going to get us more listings. You want to click on anything that is sold or under contract or pending, right? But I think sold, it really makes a lot of sense. If I click market listing, there's all kinds of things here. There's 3 tools that you absolutely must use. The number one, which is actually at the top of my list over here for top tools for more listings, is the nearby homeowner letter. And that's right here, about number 6 on the list. There are 3 versions of it and they all say roughly the same thing. They just look different. So it's really your aesthetically, what do you like? I'm going to show you one and show you what is going on here. It basically says, we've sold a home, go check it out. That affects your home value. Go get your free home value, right? Simple piece of paper. You can understand we're not writing a novel here. We all live in an ADD nation. People can barely read anymore. So this is designed to scan and take an action in less than 5 seconds, right? I get it. I read it. I scan it. Got it. Good. Yeah. I need my home value. So who's going to open up a piece of mail and look at this and walk to their own computer, type that web address in, and then give you their address and their email address? Only people who seriously want their home value. In contrast, some people take this page and they go lob it out on Facebook, and Facebook is awesome, but that's really where people are looking at what their friends did over the weekend and whatever they're following, right? It's there. And then there might be an ad, right? And your ad could be right there in front of this page, like Grubhub is right here, right? And then, oh, I wasn't thinking of Grubhub, but okay, yes. I wasn't thinking of your open house either. I want an open house. I want to look at open houses, or I want to look at what my home is worth and stuff like that. That's why Facebook works. But when you mail that letter and it drives them to this page, again, they're not just thumbing through their phone, right? They literally open mail, they're reading it, and they've taken the decision to type in that web address and go get their home value. That's why those are really good to mail with people with equity. Now, I mentioned earlier, get that list from whatever company you want, right? Arch Agent and ListSource and Remind and all that. But we also have an integrated print partner called Express Copy who will do it. There's just somebody in the Mastermind group, I'll take this over there real quick, who was saying it's really expensive. And I can tell you it's not cheap. It's not the cheapest. And people were saying, yeah, there are other ways of doing it cheaper, like mailing things cheaper. I get that. Where were we here? Yeah. So we're back here. We clicked on the nearby homeowner letter. We click on print and mail. Then we click on get mailing list. And these guys, Express Copy, they have a national database of all homeowners. So if I choose a 1 or 2 mile radius around that home, they're only going to mail it to people with more than 6 years equity of single family homes. You click that button, boom, they download it. This Express copy downloads it, folds it, and mails it to people with equity. It does cost $185 for 100 pieces. And that's where somebody was saying in the Mastermind group just a couple of days ago, I was looking at it just a few minutes ago, I want to do something that's cheaper. And other agents throw in their deal. I use Wise Pelican. Now, I don't know Wise Pelican, but you want to be able to hit those people with equity so that you're really getting an ROI on your mailing, right? And that works. I'm going to show you something else about that letter. And that's from Pat Motley here. And Pat has been a client for, I want to say 12 years. And she uses the Nearby Homeowner letter every time she has something just sold and something just listed. So in this case, it's just sold. She prints it out. She prints out a batch of 100. She flips them over and uses Microsoft Publisher to print this to look like an envelope and like a stamp. And then she handwrites these envelopes, right? Now, why in the world would somebody go through all that when you can just have Express Copy do it for you? I've seen the letters from Express Copy. They look a little bit like bulk mail, right? And bulk mail may not even make it into the house. But the real reason that she's doing it is on the first batch of 100 just listed, she had 4 owners call her for home value reports. On this batch, which is the sold, so when she mailed just listed, she got 4 people calling her. And on this batch, same home, now that it's sold, she had 3 people call her and 1 person text her, right? Now, it did take her 4 hours of time, but that's 8 people who are seriously wanting to sell their home this year with her. And that's really the key of why she went up through all that work. And if you look at our mastermind group, like a lot of people here, they're watching Pat, they hear me talk about Pat. And I have seen one of the most, that alone I thought was remarkable, but then about a week or 2 later, it was many weeks later, but a week or 2 ago, some agent has been in here. I guess a bunch of agents were talking about where can we print this? Like, where can we get a printer that does this? And this conversation came up. Let's see if I can find it right here. There's a video of this printer just printing out envelopes with a font that the guy bought from Fiverr. So they're sharing where they get the font. They're also sharing the model of the printer that will take that font. And they're not handwriting anything. It just looks like it's handwritten. It looks pretty good. And unfortunately, I can't find it here. I should have opened it up earlier, so I don't want to waste time. But that's the Nearby Homeowner letter. And that's our number one tool because you're mailing it to people with equity. Okay. Now, right below it is postcards and door hangers. And if you have a sold home and you're doing any kind of mailing, please use our design. It's just, look at the front. There's a QR code and a web link up on the front of that. That's going to take them to a place where they're going to get offered a free home value. If they turn the card over, it says that affects your home value. And then there's a link where they can get their free home value. Okay. So both sides of this postcard are going to get you listing leads. If you're doing any mailing or postcards, please make sure you have call to actions that are not your phone number. Okay. So you got that. You've also got an e-flyer for your database, which is the electronic version of the Nearby Homeowner letter. It says, hey, we just sold this up top. Click on that link or that picture and go become a seller lead. Oh, that affects your home value. Click on that graphic or that and go get your free home value. This is one flyer and you can just copy the code, take it to your CRM, paste it in and blast it out on your leads. And that's definitely something that I would highly recommend. Okay. One last thing on this list is something for the seller social media. And this tool is often ignored, but our clients who use it, they open up their email and use it. They love it. Right. And I'm going to show you why. This is what happens. So we create this tool every time you put a listing in. So if you get something just listed, we're going to create a tool for you to send to your homeowner that says, hey, we just listed our home and you at your office are helping us market and do it. You're selling our home. You're our agent, right? That's what it says. And then when you have an open house, it says, hey, we're having an open house and you at your office are doing all kinds of work. Here's something for marketing. Anytime you click on this, there's going to be a page behind it. Now, this time the home is sold and it says, our home is sold. We want to recommend you at your office. Here's your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family on Facebook to see. So these are a little closer to a referral. They're not just a random internet lead of somebody living within 15 miles of your ad. This is your friends and family and colleagues of your current clients who can click on this if they're curious, and they're going to land on this page. And after a little while, this is going to offer them a free home value. this is a really good, high quality lead to get as well. When you get the email that talks about seller social media, use it. So that's listing marketing, right? We talked about Facebook ads, listing marketing. If we keep going down, we're going to see landing pages. And we looked at a couple of landing pages. Here's a 100-point marketing plan. When we click on marketing tools, it gives us all the ways that we can get this into the market. And you can run a Facebook ad, right? We've pre-written the ad. You can it'll be sponsored by you. You can run a Google ad. You now know that it makes sense to run ads on Google, right? You could share for free on social media right here. You've even got an e-flyer for your database. So if you've got a big CRM with lots of people in it and you don't know what they're doing because they're not all calling you all the time, you can send out one of these, right? There's also print flyers and postcards that all tell the story of, hey, do you need help selling your home? And that is, what is that? How did we get there? That is just a landing page, right? Then we got PDF guide. So I want to click over to the PDF guide section. That marketing tools button, it's over on the PDF guides, but I just want to point it out that you can have a slightly better view here. When you come here, you're going to see all of the all of the PDF guides. And because we're just talking about how to get listings, we want to focus on the seller PDF guides. And there are a lot here. And we definitely have clients getting leads from this on Facebook and Google. I know one of our clients recently ran an ad on Google with this one, 12 mistakes to avoid. And you would do that by just clicking marketing tools and say, yeah, Google. And I think we've done everything. All you got to do is type in the town that you want to target and click publish. And that's going to push out an ad that people can read. They can click on it and land on this landing page. And as soon as they give you their contact information, they can download the report for free. So that's how that works. You can also share for free on social media. And a lot of you are part of a lot of groups on Facebook, buy and sell groups and online yard sales. You can copy the link that's behind here and put it in there and just say, hey, you know what? I thought this might be helpful. Again, e-flyer for your database if you got a deep CRM, right? And postcards and door hangers, things like that. So there are 40 different PDF guides. And when you're on our dashboard, they're just teed up, right? The ones that are designed to get sellers are right there. So we've talked about all of the ways that you can get listings, right? You can create ads on Facebook and Google. You can use some of the tools that we designed for later stage homes. You can use landing pages. So I do want to go look at landing pages and then PDF guides, and you're just going to market them out. Some of the ways to market them cost money and some are free. But if you really want listings, you should use as many as you can. Let's go over to landing pages because there's a couple things that I want to talk about before you go. And that is that you get unlimited landing pages. Okay. And that means you can go, okay, I'm going to click create property valuation plus, which is the instant home value page. Okay. And there's also landing pages for FSBOs if you want to reach out to FSBOs and expireds. But if I go here, type in property valuation plus, and I type in the name of any town, right? It will create a landing page, and then I got to change the background photo. It'll create a landing page that looks generic like this. I recommend you change the background picture to look like something that looks like the town you're focused on, right? And once you've done that, and I know I created this, there's a button that says marketing tools. And we've seen already that we can run ads on Facebook and Google, but there's also, you can share them for free on your, anywhere online and all your social media. You can just share them for free. There's your e-flyer for your database. And there's even postcards, but I am going to point out the door hanger. One of our clients, Chris Winstead, who's really successful at getting listings with our platform, he goes to vistaprints.com and prints these out in batches of 1,000. He says the price point is really good there. Now, let's see if that came, door hanger. Yeah. So there will be a hole in it when you print it, so you hang it on a door. And he gives batches of these to his office, to his agents, and says, go out and walk those streets. Don't even door knock. Just hang these on the door, because if you door knock, people knock on my door. I don't answer the door. It's 1 out of 5 I might answer the door if I don't know them. And that's how everybody is. They don't want to answer the door if they don't know you. But they will at some point open the door and see this that you've hung there and go get their home value. And you know who's going to do that? People who are interested in selling your home. So that's another good way of getting listing leads from our platform. There's one other thing I want to talk about, and that is the way that this page works. And you may know this already. I'm going to go to my Memphis landing page. So there are a couple of add-ons that I really think, I normally don't talk about them too much, but because of this call, it's really important that you know that they exist. When you point people to this page, and you remember how I was saying on Facebook, you can run an ad and use lead ads and get pre-populated name, email, and phone number. That's cool. I think that's really cool. If you use this page and you do traffic and you point them here, and Google is only traffic, by the way, let me show you how this page works. It says 1595 Easton Road, get the value estimate. And I think that's a Facebook form, which means that we would grab their email. But if not, we're going to ask them their email. So what you have now is a lead with their address. And now it's saying, hey, please confirm that your information is correct. I don't think I required a phone number, but I'm showing it. If you require a phone number, it's almost like the kiss of death for lead gen. I'm going to put it in there. Anyway, why am I interested? Thinking about selling. View my report. You cannot view the information unless you put in at least your email address and hit that toggle there, right? So that's a big issue, because a lot of people will not give you even an email address. They'll give you the address and they're thinking they're going to get it for free for no question. But the question is, can we have your address? And people will walk away instead of doing that. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is there is something called a partial lead converter down here. And this is an integration with a company called Cole Resource. And when people give you an address, you go to your profile, and I think, is it plans? You might have to ask our support team where to get the Cole Resource. I can't remember. We've moved it around. Cole Resource is a database of homeowners in the country. And if people leave, like they give you their address and they don't get your email address, we're still going to go, oh, here it is. We reached into Cole. Here you go. That way, you know the contact information, the phone number and email of these people, so you can start working on them and asking them questions to get them to sell your home. And so that's Cole Resource. I think that's $30 or $50 a month. And there's another really brand new thing that I want to tell you about, because just like I think I mentioned, this guy said, I've been calling and emailing and nobody's responding to me, 9 leads. I was like, you definitely got to text them. We have a new solution that we just launched the past couple of weeks, which is AI text follow-up. And I think it starts at $50 a month, but if you're focused on capturing a volume of leads and more than like 10 or 20 a month, if you're like in the 50 to 100 range, because you need to do that, because the average conversion rate in the industry is 1 out of 100, 1%. We have clients converting at 4 and even 5%, but they definitely have their conversion process down. And I don't know what yours is. And that's why I'm saying you can subscribe to this, and anybody with a phone number, we're going to respond to. And this thing is just going to start asking these people questions, and they're going to send you an email when they're ready to talk to somebody. That's going to help you out in converting leads. I definitely recommend that you keep an eye in the Mastermind group. People are talking about it. We've been in beta for a little while. But if you're focused on capturing a volume of leads, and we have clients with thousands of leads and we have clients with 0 leads. So you find out where you are on that spectrum. If you don't generate leads because you just have not figured anything out, then obviously don't use that. But if you want really good, solid touch points from an AI assisted software, I would definitely use that. I'm confident that's going to be helping people close deals. And we're really good at marketing. We're really good at capturing leads, but you really don't earn anything until you're able to close a deal. And so all of the tools that I've shown you today are ways of capturing leads. You definitely got to think of how you're going to convert them. And along those lines, I'm going to show you one thing that a lot of you use, but these are really effective. I have some extra ones because it's our demo account, but there's seller lead follow-up and buyer lead follow-up. And these have a really high open rate, and we actually know they're closing appointments for our clients. We're embedding landing pages and we're embedding the PDF guides in these messages, not in every one, but every once in a while, so that people are learning that they can get more information from you with these drip campaigns. So I definitely recommend every client goes to follow-ups and turn on both the buyer and seller, because hopefully you've got a CRM. And if you don't, turn on our follow-ups. We're going to be improving this to make you be able to work your leads inside of Listings Lead. And if you do, I'm pretty sure our drip campaigns are better than yours. We know the top companies out there. We even have clients who work for the top companies out there. And they're saying, yeah, you have a higher open rate and you're actually getting people engaged. Whereas a lot of the great CRM companies out there, they do a lot of great things, but the drip campaign isn't really their highest priority. Everybody, I hope this is making some sense. Don't forget, pretty much everything you need is on the dashboard. You'll be dropped on the dashboard as soon as you log in. Click on Generate Seller Leads. How do I create a QR code? This is Vince, Victoria. For what are you trying to create a QR code, Victoria? I will tell you this. If you're going to listings, for a landing page. Yeah. So if you go to listings, since we're going there, I was waiting for the answer. If we click on marketing tools of any listing, there's a QR code right there. If we go to PDF guides and we go to any PDF guide, you know that there are 80, and you click on marketing tools, there's QR code. Okay. And then landing pages, which is what Victoria is asking about. When you create this, and there's a lady out there, I think she's in like the Chicago or Midwest area. She is a realtor and a coach, right? And she's been telling people for a good 2 to 3 years, I created a landing page with listings to leads, and it was for instant home value. And I got the QR code, and everything I do in print, I put this QR code, which is, Victoria, the one that you're looking for. You just look for marketing tools because a QR code is effectively a marketing tool. And it says, scan for your free home value. And she puts this on everything in print. And she's, you just keep doing that. Because if you're in the business for years and you're doing mailings throughout the year and you're not doing something like this, you're leaving money on the table, right? This is easy. Ever since COVID, people know what a QR code is. If you're doing print, at least have this on there. On a lot of our tools that we create, Nearby Homeowner Letters stuff, we have that QR code already embedded, right? So you could copy it here and embed it if it's missing for you, but that's definitely there. Any other questions about this? These are the top ways, everybody. I hope you use them. Our support team is down here. I mentioned earlier, get into the mastermind group. If you're not in it, please ask the support team to get you in. Check out Dustin Fox. Check out Pat Motley, who I showed you, and Chris Winstead. They all have a lot of feedback and information on what they're doing to get more listings, which is basically using the tools that I've told you about today. So everybody, thanks for joining me today. This call is being recorded. It will be in the mastermind group. On our YouTube channel. If not today, then tomorrow. All right. I don't see any more questions. So take care, everybody. Bye bye.